Bonjour, Pirwe Anakutak Indigenous Maingan Dodem. My English name is Christi Belcourt, and I am part of the Ottoman Collective who's putting on the Anishinaabemowin Wiigwaam for about a week and a half from now. We have 9 youth registered and 2 adults, and myself, that'll make 11 people in the house. We have a number of elders and language speakers that are coming in to teach us the language. So we'll all be staying in the house here in Espanola for 4 days with no English in the house. My experience with the language is not very much. I took a course, Marianne Corbier's course, for half a semester at Laurentian, and I've been since trying to learn on my own as much as I can. So I know very, very little. So you might be wondering, why is this Michif half-breed here in Espanola wanting to learn Anishinaabemowin? My grandparents spoke Cree. They were fluent in the language, but I live here, and I've lived along the North Shore for 15 years. I've lived in Anishinaabe territory all my life. My daughter is Michif and Anishinaabe, and so I hope that by learning the language, if the time comes that I'm ever so blessed to have grandchildren, that I'll be able to teach them the language as well. I was speaking to my aunt in Saskatchewan, and I said, I want to learn Cree because I really feel like there's this, gaping hole inside of me because I don't know the language of my ancestors, and I feel like there's so many things about the philosophy and worldview of life and spirituality and land that I'm missing by not knowing the language, and it just feels like something's missing. And she said, just learn Anishinaabemowin because you live there, and the languages between the two are so similar that it will be a doorway for you to be able to understand more of Cree if you can understand the language. When we look at communities all across the country, we see some communities are strong in their language, but in a lot of communities, the kids aren't learning it. The kids are not speaking the language. There's hardly any becoming first language speakers, and that's pretty alarming. It means that, like in my family, all it took was 2 generations for the language to be gone. And if we look into the future by 2 generations, it looks like the languages are going to be in a real crisis. So, anything is good. And so we're just trying this. We're just trying it out as kind of an experiment, putting together people, focusing on the youth, bringing in elders, and focusing on the language in a house, and trying immersion, because that seems to be the only way that I think languages will be spoken again, is if we just make them first languages. So with that, we'll be taking a lot of videotapes of the people in the house during the weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to, show what worked and what didn't. It's all kind of a big experiment at this point, but the idea is to try and do this again and again and again, hopefully with some of the same participants, so that we can all increase our fluency. So with that, I'd like to say miigwech, hi hi, and I look forward to the weeks ahead. Miigwech.